So I know there's a lot of people who keep getting stressed out after they've maybe committed a bunch of their money to a certain investment in the stock market and real estate, or you simply cannot handle knowing that you could lose some money in the future. So I'm going to talk about how to get rid of the stress associated to investing because it's gonna take a toll on your mental and physical health if you're just stressed all the time about your investments. And I want you to be able to invest without just being constantly worried about it. And it's true, investing is not easy. And the thing is, just like anything in life, we're probably gonna make a couple of mistakes. And of course, it's gonna feel rough or costly when our mistakes are costing us real money that we had earned previously. However, that does not mean that we have to live our lives stressed about investing or after we've committed a bunch of our money. The fact is, if you look at a lot of the top investors, such as Warren Buffett, for example, they're fairly unemotional and they're very analytical and sort of quantitative and numbers based rather than feelings based. That's a good baseline recommendation, which is don't treat the stock market or the real estate market with emotions because it doesn't care about your emotions, frankly. As hard as it sounds, if you feel sad or you feel greedy or you feel fearful, the stock market won't know that and it'll just keep taking the route it wants to take. So you can't control the stock market through your emotions, but what can you control? Yourself. Your attitude before and after you invest is way more important than even the investment itself that you're making. You can make the best investment in the world, but if you're panicking and you will sell at any sign of trouble, then you may just exit that investment before it starts turning huge profits. So we want to get rid of that. And even if you're not completely unemotional about your investments, here's a bunch of other things that you can do to sort of get rid of that overall stress and that overall feeling of dread that's coming or all that loss aversion that humans generally have when investing. Because the fact is, humans are generally loss averse. Psychologists have determined that if you grab a group of 100 people and you tell them that you can either get $100 for sure or you have a 50-50 chance of getting either $200 or nothing, most people are going to take the $100 for certain. What's interesting is that the expected value is exactly the same, but the fact is that people are so risk averse and loss averse that they would rather take that sure $100. And part of it is that it's recognizing that we're risk averse and we would rather not see our money go, but that may be something that we have to do if we want to see our money grow. And that's part of learning. You're gonna have to be willing to lose some money if you want to gain some money. Because of course, if there were no risk in investing, A, everyone would be doing it, but B, there would be no point in making these videos since you can just toss your money at something and get more money back and life would be very different than it currently is now. And say you want to invest in the stock market and you really cannot handle watching your real money lose out, then start a paper trading account. Trade on paper with a fake account with fake money using however much money you think is realistic for that account, and then find a rhythm that you're comfortable with. Maybe you get really good at trading and you're losing 1 time out of 10 or 2 times out of 10. But as long as you can keep your gains controlled and your ratio is pretty good in terms of gains, then that's when you can decide to take the leap and start trading with real money. Likewise, and I see this a lot with both people who invest into the stock market and even more in cryptocurrency, stop checking your investments all the time. Oh my God, this will only get you more and more stressed. Are you really going to celebrate every time something goes up by 1 cent? And are you really going to cry every time something goes down by 1 cent? Most brokers have a thing called a limit order, which you can put automatically to save you from checking your stocks every day. So for example, if I buy a stock at $40 and I want to sell it at $50, then I can put this limit order which says, hey, when this stock reaches $50, please sell it, please get rid of it. And I just leave it there and you can set it with an expiration date 90 days from now, for example. That way you don't have to check every day, you don't have to manually go into your account to sell it once it reaches a price you're happy with. Just let the computers do that. let the order automatically execute and leave it at that. You can also set something called a stop order, which is essentially a limit before the down direction. So once a stock reaches a certain threshold downwards, it sells it if you want to just limit your loss instead. And you can combine these two, maybe set a stop order at 10% under the price you bought it at and a limit order at 25% over the price you bought it at. And that way, theoretically, you can always gain more than you can potentially lose. And if you do this for every single investment you own, you're gonna stop feeling the need to check them because you know they're gonna execute whenever they reach the certain price that you've determined yourself. And you're probably gonna get an email or a notification to your phone saying, hey, this thing has been sold. That's when you can go check your investments, maybe reinvest them or withdraw them. So please stop checking your investments at every single time of the day unless you're a professional trader of some sort and this is actually your living. And just like you've probably heard before, please, please, please only invest money that you're okay with losing. If this is the money for your child's college or for your rent, please do not invest it. If you lose it, the consequences are going to be far worse. And if you actually gain money here, say you double your rent money for next month, well, it may actually just give you false confidence that your method works perfectly. And then you start doing this and it works until it doesn't. And then you're completely out of rent money. So please only invest what you're willing to lose. So please prepare yourself for the worst scenario while hoping and working towards the best case scenario and only invest what you're willing to lose. And likewise, another point that I cannot stress enough is take care of your actual physical health. Please eat healthy, sleep well, exercise regularly, and then overall that's going to decrease your stress levels for everything, probably for your work life, related to any other daily activities that you do, and by extension, it's probably going to make you stress less about your investments and make you less impulsive and wanting to check, wanting to panic. The value of investments goes up and down every single day, and it's going to keep doing that. So it's best to embrace it that way. Don't control the investments because you can't control yourself. And another quick tip I can give you is find a strategy. Find something that you can consistently do every time you enter an investment. And that way, when you're sticking to a strategy, you're not overwhelmed with all this information or all these considerations. What if I didn't look at this metric? What if I didn't look at that? This person is saying buy, this person is saying sell. Like, that doesn't matter because you're sticking to your individual strategy. And that way, you're going to stress a lot less about your investments because you're at least being consistent in what you do. And if that strategy is something that, for example, you practice in a paper trading account and you know that it has a high probability of success, well, then it doesn't matter. You're not going to be stressed about the fact that it could go wrong because you know that the chances are that if you try again, based on your own criteria, based on your own metrics, then the next time you could actually make that money back or maybe even double that. Investing can be stressing if you don't control yourself while you're investing. Imagine if you treated work the same way. Imagine if the company that you own or that you work for reports some bad results after their quarterly report. Are you going to cry about it? Or are you going to just keep working while at work and then not stress about it while at home? Why should you treat investments any differently? If your investments go sour for a little bit, well, you shouldn't let that erode your personal life. Things happen. We're gonna make mistakes. Please make mistakes so you can learn from them. And after you make a mistake investing, and once you notice that it was a mistake, you can go back and retrace your steps and say, okay, what was I thinking? And why was my criteria wrong? Why did this investment go wrong? Write it down, put it down somewhere, keep a trading journal, keep an investment log. And that way you can notice exactly what happened that made your investment go wrong. And you can simply remember that to not repeat it again. And after doing that, even losses can be more profitable than just gaining straight every single time. Don't gain false confidence. Instead, learn from your mistakes. And then hopefully, after learning enough, you'll be able to have a much higher success rate. And say you just scored big. Say you just invested $10,000 and you got out $50,000. You scored the investment of your life. Please withdraw some of those investments. Please take out some portion of it, put it in your bank account, turn it into something different. Go buy someone dinner, go buy your family gifts, go turn it into real estate. Because what if you reinvest those $50,000 and then things just don't go your way and you lose all of your gains? Anything can happen in the stock market, in the cryptocurrency market, in the real estate market. Anything can happen at all times. So beware and be prepared. Control yourself, get ready for every scenario, and you will find that investing is a lot less stressing than it seems. It's gonna take some work, it's gonna take some trial and error, but you can do it. You can invest successfully without any stress at all. So if you made it to the end of this video, well, thanks for staying here for my rant. I hope you found a lot of useful tips here so you don't have to stress anymore while investing. And if you're interested in investing and want to get a little bit of free money, well, Webull is one of the best brokers I've ever used, and they're having a promotion where you can get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400 if you register and deposit at least $100. You can find a link for that down in the description. So if you have any cool methods of getting rid of the stress while investing or just in general, comment down below. I want to hear what you have to say, and I'll reply to every single comment. If you want to see more content like this, remember to subscribe. It means a lot to me and it helps me out a lot. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you can become a better investor and be less stressed overall, and I hope I can see you on the next video.